Yes, people, welcome back to another video on the channel. And it is the Europa Conference League final watchalong. As you guys can see, I've got the green theme going. Let me just put that off. But yeah, got the green theme going on. It's live. It is being played in Prague. So West Ham's lineup: Areola in goal, Emerson Ogarzuma Sofal, Rice Sojek, and then Lucas Paqueta, and then a front three of Benrahma, Antonio, and Bowen for West Ham United. A lineup in a 4-2-3-1. Lanzini missing out on a start, and Pablo Fornals missing out on a start. Let's look. Hopefully they show the Fiorentina lineup. Also, you must. Let me just get it up for just in case they don't show it. Okay, I think what I will do is I will watch on my phone. That will be much better. That would be much better if I watch it on my phone. Let's see. Yes. Let me. That also reminds me to put my phone on the charger. And now it's on play. Alright, people, I will miss the first few minutes. Oops, I was muted, sorry. Sorry. Okay. Okay. West Ham, good defending from them. Fiorentina play it down. Starts. So the time I might be a bit behind. A second or two. So yeah, but I will sort that out of the thing. Manny, I will send you the link on Twitter. I'll send you the link. That's not a problem. Be up yourself, just fan, and just keep hitting that like button. Yeah, keep smashing that. And come on West Ham, yeah, come on West Ham. Twitter. One last that I message money on Twitter. Jeez. Yeah, you long time ago. Okay, so I sent you the link, money. I sent you the link. I'm not behind. Let me just go back in. So yeah, up. Just Francis, come on, yeah, my score prediction. Going to put it out there. 1-1, and West Ham wants on pens. Hopefully not 0-0. Fingers crossed. Um, so yeah, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Because if it ends 0-0 and then goes to pens, um, I, it's not. I don't have like I haven't put a bet on or anything like that. It's just if you guys follow Sunny That Sports Guy on Instagram, he usually does if you get the score prediction and the goals for stuff like that's right, then it usually gives amount away. And now, if you get the score prediction right, you get the money. So hopefully 1-1. Hopefully. Um. So yeah, and money is
Evening, Hanno. And as you said, I'm wearing black. The reason I wanted you to send it on Twitter is because my phone's charging, and for some reason I'm having them goof up.
nah. That's no worries. Yeah. I got green on, but uh, we've got the cold front that's doesn't want to go away, and I can't be asked to go sit in front of the TV and in that type of cold. So yeah,
Right.
but
So, are
I
you
can
watching it
watch
on
it
your
on my
PC, or what's the story?
computer. On my computer, I'm
So,
watching
is
it on.
so is it being streamed on
on
UEFA.com, or what's the story?
no, I can with Super Sports and DSTV. You can watch it on your phone
Brilliant,
slash
brilliant.
computer and on the TV.
Brilliant, 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 brilliant. All these major sports satellite networks will always have options for your mobile phone or your PC. Over here in India, there are several options. I've got the Tata Sky, which is of course now Tata Play option. So if I couldn't use my television set, I could almost certainly watch it on my computer. The only problem is it buffers quite a bit, and I see Fiorentina obviously trying to have more of the ball and trying to push forward, but West Ham do look dangerous on the counter. So it will be interesting to see. It could boil down to whichever team makes a mistake, that team might end up losing. And some players to watch out for on the Fiorentina team, of course, Sofiane Amrabat, who was one of Morocco's stars of the World Cup, um, playing more or less as a central midfielder. And apart from that, no one really springs to mind. The coach is Italiano, Vincenzo Italiano. People are going to have a field day with that, really. And West Ham are playing their usual cup goalkeeper, Alphonse Areola. I believe he is also still in the France squad, but as another backup for Michael Maignan. And Rice, of course, captains the team. It's a 4-2-3-1 with Kufal at right back and Emerson at left back. Agard and Zuma, the centre backs. Sushek, of course, and Rice are the defensive
Oh,
midfielders with,
it was a
yeah.
shot.
And then Jared Bowen, Lucas Paquetá, and Said Benrahma, the midfielders, with Michael Antonio, the lone striker. A bit ironic that after being sold by Aston Villa, Danny Ings on the bench could very well end up playing in the European final. So it looks as though he got the better of that deal in that respect.
Yeah,
Maxwell
definitely.
Cornet, Manuel Lanzini, Pablo Fornals, um, and of course Ben Johnson and Aaron Cresswell are on the bench, along with Angelo Ogbonna. So a very strong bench for West Ham. But Fiorentina seem to have a lot more of the ball and are certainly going to try and attack.
Yep,
West Ham, of
everyone that
course, are in
watched
all
the
white with an orange trim on the bottom of their shirt.
true. I made it a bit too white. Um, needed something more, but yeah. But yep, everyone that watched the video on the short that I did on Kante, I posted it also on Instagram as a reel. So be up to everyone that check that out.
I will
Of
check that
course,
out soon, and I never got to see it, but I want to say right now that Kante should be remembered as one of the Premier League's finest midfielders. We should have gotten him, but instead we went for Granit Xhaka, who's also leaving the club, and the contrast between those two could not be any bigger.
question on Jack leaving. Why hasn't he left already?
Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, last season he was supposed to leave for Roma, and then somehow that deal fell through, and Arteta convinced him to stay. And this season he's had a good season, but I'll tell you what. I was watching the replay of the retelecast of the City Arsenal game at the Etihad, and Xhaka was completely making an utter nuisance of himself in the worst possible way. I'm glad he's gone. Really, you don't want. I know he has some fans. One of those fans happens to be a very good friend of mine. Shout out to Miss Melina, of course, who doesn't do much YouTube work anymore, but could possibly be back again if she feels in the right frame of mind. But I mean, look, if you fancy yourself as a leader, you've got to be the person who keeps your composure, and that way you lead by example. You don't just make a nuisance of yourself and then have the team crumble around you. You fancy yourself as a captain without the armband, you act like a freaking captain, for Pete's sake. But a potential West Ham counter attack down the right, Bowen with the ball into the penalty area. Does he find his man? No, it is headed away, but Zuma pushes that back, and Kufal ends up winning a throw. It's just gone to 12 minutes where I am, so I know that you're 30 seconds or so behind me.
Mm,
But you got the better of the deal with Kante. What a quality player he was. And
yeah, no, he was.
Declan Rice! Well, you just knew that the story writers would have had a field day with that.
Yeah, especially it is. It could be his last game. Could be, could not be.
Yep. Probably just skied it a bit too wide. The goalkeeper did really well to get to dive across. So I think he had that covered anyway. But with regard to Kante, you lot got the better of the deal. Premiership titles, a Champions League, and a Super Cup and a Club World Cup. And what did we get? Just 2 FA Cups with that Swiss cheese in our midfield.
And it wasn't even that good. Only 1 year. Um,
Yeah.
only this season you could say he was good. I don't think most of the other seasons he was that good.
Too
And,
inconsistent for my liking. I know he's still a very big player for the Swiss national team. Um,
but
never got,
that's because they don't have anyone else really.
yeah, and I'm just taking a look at this comment from Chelsea fan here. Never got to say goodbye to Kante because Chelsea took it away for us. Look, I do understand that, but
I
you
I
know,
don't think they took
nobody
it away
predicts.
from him.
Yeah,
I think it's his injury. But yeah, go on.
yeah, but I think as Hanno said, Chelsea fan, it was basically a combination of his injury, meaning that he couldn't wasn't really that effective, and maybe if he had agreed to stay for one more season, he could have had a farewell. But I think he probably was the best judge of his own fitness. He felt that given the way things were going, he didn't really feel as though he could do Chelsea or any other Premiership team justice. So why not move to the Saudi League to test himself? And he is going to Al Ittihad, right? So he's going to have a whale of a time catching up with his fellow Frenchman Karim Benzema. But thankfully or not, Messi has agreed to join Inter Milan and hobnob with a certain Mr. Beckham. So he's going to enjoy the bright lights of Miami. And I just wonder if, with that pace of football, it will keep him fresher and ready to continue playing for Argentina for as long as possible.
True, true. Uh, Big up Nippon. Hi, hope you are well. He says, "Come on, you irons." Um, I want that. I want to send to one because of that Fiorentina fan putting out a racist tweet last night. Um, yeah, look, some people are going to be like that. Some people are definitely
Yeah,
are to be like that.
agreed. But Nippon, I want to ask you, um, how did you feel about Mourinho losing the Europa League final and his behaviour that day? Because I think you saw a tweet of mine where I said that he was an absolute disgrace, and I said because attitude determines your altitude, he will never be adored and respected, no matter how many pieces of silverware he wins. I know he used to coach Chelsea. Hanno, maybe you can chime in with that one.
I think, look, I think emotions are very high, and especially because it's his first final is lost. Lost. If that happened to me, I can't lie. I'm that type of person. I'm that competitive type person. I don't think I would have waited for the ref at a parking lot. But I would have done something similar, like maybe saying we should have won or complain. But I wouldn't go wait for the ref there. Like
Yeah.
it's not gonna happen. So
I
yeah.
mean, because here's the way I look at it. I mean, obviously, we both saw the final, and I remember taking it through to the end with the penalties. And I will say this: in as much as there were maybe one or two decisions in favour of Roma that should have been given by Anthony Taylor but weren't given, Roma did have more chances to win that match in normal and extra time, and they failed to do so. So, you sometimes have to go into a match with the belief that you can control only what you can control. And of course, I know you don't like me mentioning him, but when you read the autobiographies of these South African sports personalities, I know Kevin Peterson played for England, but he says he now considers himself South African. Herschel Gibbs, also the same ilk. They can tell you that at every single age group in South Africa, sport is exceptionally competitive. You really want to, kill each other, but at the same time, oops, shouldn't say that, but at the same time, after the match is played, there's a lot of camaraderie, and you all catch up for some social time. If you're old enough to drink, you have a nice dop here and there, and maybe at the end of a big series, you have yourselves a nice braai or two. But you never indulge in any type of disrespectful behaviour towards officials who run the game. What do you say to that? Mr. Trollope?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, I think you summed it up perfectly there. What you said there, about that. So yeah, I think you pretty summed up it pretty good.
Thank you
So
very
yeah,
much indeed. By the way, for our non-Afrikaan speaking friends, a dop is another word for a drink, and when we talk of braai, we mean a barbecue, a very famous South African barbecue.
yeah, definitely. And it could also be top is also beer. So drink it can. So mostly it's beer. So yeah.
Yeah, I read Matthew Hogarth's autobiography, and he had a lot of stories to tell about his time in Johannesburg playing club cricket for the Pirates. And then, of course, when he came back to Johannesburg with England, playing South Africa in South Africa, he took, I believe, 6 wickets in the second innings as England beat South Africa to win that series nil. They lost the final test to leave it a 2-1 final score, but Hoggy was quite the star that day. And his old club teammates were texting him saying, "Well done, Hoggy. We hate you."
I completely forgot to do the banner. But Nippon says, knowing Kante will probably donate most of his earnings to charity. Hmm. I think Kante deserves it. Like he deserves to go get that paycheck. He deserves it. Fiorentina. No,
No,
no.
I'm doing it. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Oh, you're on it. Okay, let me go. So, bit of a quiet start. So far, bit of a quiet one.
Yeah, quite quiet. First 20 minutes have certainly gone by, with a few good runs into the opposition area and a few chances here and there. I think only the Fiorentina goalkeeper has been forced to make a save. Ariola, despite having to withstand a bit of pressure, has been not really been tested. So typical European final, very cagey, and could very well be a repeat of the Europa League final, where the first goal will set off a huge wave of attacks from either side. I only hope it doesn't descend into the ill-disciplined fracas that was the Roma Sevilla game.
Yeah, hopefully. I just want 1-1. If it ends 1-1, I just want 1-1 and pens. I don't want anything else. No, 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 no. I don't like. But yeah.
Please
Wait.
tell me you're not hoping for this one to go to penalties.
Nah, I really want this to go to penalties. Like really.
Mate, if it
Like,
goes to penalties, then you realise you might not be able to cover it because you have to go to sleep.
I know, but there's a chance of winning 50 quid. So of course, Bia Sunny, he will be giving me that if this
All
goes
about the
one
money,
one
is it?
Yeah.
Of course,
Uh,
you being in the Cape Province and he being up in the north of England, it can only be through a wire transfer anyway.
Nippen, I will send you the link on Twitter, man. I'll send you the link on Twitter. Why not? Um, where is Nippen? Nippen, there you go. Okay, so there's the link. I sent it to you on Twitter.
Offside against Bowen, and a potential chance for
Thoughts
West Ham goes begging.
on Mr. Who's it? What's his name? Who's on the bench with them? It's all right. It's Lanzini. Thoughts on him? He's got that number 10 shirt, but he doesn't play that often for West Ham.
Yeah, well, Fabianski has the number one shirt, and he's not even starting tonight.
True, but I think he's more of the cup keeper, so
Yeah, in the same way, I think what happened is that Moyes wants to show some faith in the people who got the team this far. I don't know how much of a role Lanzini played. I'm assuming it might not have been that big a role anyway. So, Mr. Sharma, good to see you. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, all good, all good, all good. Where are you calling from? Because once again, we're hearing some disturbance from your side.
I'm en route.
true.
I'm en route to the big screen.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
So
Yeah.
yeah, you won't be hearing that much. You won't be hearing that much noise once I'm actually at my destination.
Yeah, well, a huge Fiorentina attack taking place, and does this go out for a corner? Yes, this does. So Jovic, the number 7, in the thick of the action. Luka Jovic, that is.
I really don't want. Look, even though I'm a Chelsea fan, and a lot of Chelsea fans actually hate West Ham, I'm not one of them. In fact, they're my least disliked London club.
Yeah, West Ham.
Yeah,
Like,
West Ham are a nice team.
if
You
West
do
Ham win, they got
realise,
more European.
Manny, do you realise your team, you will be finished as a football club if West Ham win tonight?
Oh, I realise that because, listen, West Ham's only other European trophy was the now defunct European Cup Winners' Cup, which we also won. We also won the, of course, now defunct Intercities Fairs Cup. I don't remember West Ham winning the Intertoto Cup. I think they did, but they will effectively have more European trophies than us if they win tonight. So, I mean,
They
listen,
will have, you know the team you banter about bottling it? They have more European pedigree than you.
yes, so do Aston Villa, so do Nottingham Forest, and
Everyone.
we're
I
aware
wasn't
of that.
referring to Aston Villa or Nottingham Forest. I was referring to a certain team that are based in Enfield that play in white. Meaning, okay, yeah, I'm talking about Tottenham.
Yeah. European Cup Winners' Cup and UEFA Cup winners.
It is now known as the Europa League.
I'm
a
aware
name
of
change
that,
means
son.
nothing. A name change means nothing. It's the same trophy.
I'm aware of that. I've followed football for just as long as you have, maybe even longer. I know about the name change. Then it was the UEFA Cup. Now, of course, it is the Europa League.
You're old. You're not much old. You're older than I am. So
yeah.
For,
But so listen, once so you're not watching the game now, though, are you? I think because you said you're en route. You're not watching it on your mobile or anything like that, are you?
No. Hence why I've also got my camera off.
Ah, smart man.
For Tottenham appointing Angelo Ange Postecoglou.
What are my thoughts on Tottenham appointing Ange Postecoglou? You mean?
Yeah.
You mean that Celtics? You mean that ex-Cel scum manager?
Yes, until recently, the ex-Celtic manager, who also managed Australia.
Yeah, despite the fact that he's Greek.
Postecoglou is, I think, a Turkish Cypriot sort of name, I would say.
Is the Aussie Pep? Come on.
He was born in Greek. He was born in Greece to Greek parents. So it was so basically second generation Greek, like me and Manny are second generation Indians.
Exactly. And you're right. He was born in Greece, and
but he moved to Australia when he was 5 years old.
Yes, moved to Australia and grew up in Melbourne, Victoria. You're absolutely right.
Surely that's handball against Antonio. Oh, that wasn't. I don't know. Was it?
I think it probably because he was fouled from behind. You know, you can't penalise someone for a handball if they've been fouled from behind. 4 caps for the Australian senior team, 13 for the under-20s.
Yeah.
Entire professional career with South Melbourne.
I think Postecoglou might bet at Tottenham because he's not the big world-class manager. I think
who he reminds me of? He reminds me of Hanno. You know who he reminds me of? Who? He reminds me of our current manager.
Poch.
Yep. Think about it. They both came to Tottenham as absolute nobodies.
What do you mean a nobody? He's won titles at Celtic. No, and he's coached Australia at the World Cup.
Poch came to Tottenham as a nobody.
No, he didn't. He came from Southampton. Hippo knew
Yeah,
it.
but what did he do with Southampton?
He developed talents like Mane, like Van Dijk.
Yeah, but then sold them off and didn't replace them.
Yeah.
And you know what
Well,
happens when you do that? You eventually get relegated, just like what happened with them last season.
yeah. But I think it would be good because it's not this world class manager that will be trying to exceed expectations. He's a low level manager or unknown manager.
But he will bring look. He will bring
Yeah,
good football
I think
to
it would
White
be
Hart
good.
Lane, which I'm sure most Tottenham fans will be happy with.
Yeah, he's already started the process of clearing out a lot of the so-called dead wood. I still rate Ivan Perisic quite highly, but I think his wages and the fact that he's in the last year of his contract might mean that he has to go, and that should be a free kick for West Ham. Oh, apparently it's gone the other way because Benrahma's been booked for diving. Well, what do you know? It's what some people won't do to earn a free kick or a penalty.
Mm.
But
But
it's the dark arts, Manny.
I
Yeah.
can't still attain dark arts anymore. Let me see this.
Yeah.
Mm.
Thankfully, of course, with cameras all on him and the referees also watching him, he knows
Nah,
he can't
that's
get
a
away
lie.
with that
That's a
rubbish.
lie. That's
What's the
that's
ref's
a lie.
nationality? Is he Spanish, English?
Let me find out who the referee is.
Is he
BBC.
Dutch?
Carlos del Cerro Grande. Certainly Spanish. Yeah.
Well, he could be from South America. Or does it have a flag next to what you're searching?
Let me take a look. One of the nicest things about being at a PC is that you can immediately. Yep, Spanish. Spanish,
My
Spanish, Spanish.
PC is on the seat next to me. My laptop is actually in my bag.
So, are you on the bus or in a taxi?
Driving.
He's driving in his
Ah,
car.
I can just picture you now speaking through your Bluetooth.
Look, if I'm at a red light, I'll show you.
No, no need. No need.
That's all right. I
Don't
mean,
want you to.
just goes to show. I mean, you are a person who will go anywhere to watch a good game. And so, where is this
I'm
big
going
screen of yours?
um on the out. Do you know a place called Watford?
Watford.
Yeah,
No,
it's in a
scam.
golf course on the outer skirts of Watford.
Oh, nice,
Oh,
nice.
scam
Have
Watford.
you heard of a
Never.
company called Top Golf? They're a
Of
golf
course, I've heard of them.
simulator.
Of course, I've heard of them. Of course, I've heard of them. They're actually also
Yeah,
quite big in the US as well.
I'm
I've
going
heard of them.
there to watch the game.
And what the hell is this with all of these cups being thrown onto the field? And apparently, the Fiorentina captain Biraghi is applauding that. What the hell is going on?
They're
It looks as though it's
scum.
coming from.
Fiorentina are scum.
No, it looks as though it's coming from the West Ham crowd, and I think Agard has to go there and say, "Knock it off, lads." It's
That's what I want
ridiculous.
from my captain.
That's it.
That's what
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
want.
It is from the Sam
But
fans.
look, if I was the ref and stupid shit started happening between two teams, I'd book both players and tell them to pack it in. And then
wait.
I'd say, this is your final warning. The next one,
Yeah.
you're both getting sent off.
Yeah, if I could just interrupt you there, because it looks as though the captain Biraki has been hit with a sharp object and there's blood coming out of the back of his head. You can see the cut there. And Rice has to come in and talk about everything and try and take care of the situation. We're going to see the object that hit him. Ow! Ooh, that's sharp, man. Bloody idiots.
I hope the other fans are condemning it. Because I'm never throwing stuff onto the pitch. Just like I never shine a laser into somebody's eyes.
Let me see. I think it's one of the cups. Yeah, one of the cups it's in.
Is the cup made of glass? I hope that player's okay.
Yeah, he's being bandaged right now in a purple bandage, and I don't know if he has to change his shirt, but he seems to be fine. Memories, of course, of the likes of Terry Butcher and Paul Ince, shedding blood for the cause. Rice, of course, was a part of the. I think he started in the final against Italy in Euro 2020. And take a look and see if any of the Italian players were.
Watch how rival fans now just put West Ham fans into one box.
Yeah. That's happened. That's always going to happen.
Right, so
all clubs have fans like that. It's nothing new. Even Chelsea fans do that.
Yeah. True. But
so corner to Fiorentina and still bouncing awkwardly in the penalty area. The danger isn't cleared, but eventually Areola gathers that and tries to throw it. Ends up throwing in style to the captain Declan Rice. Okay, so. Well, none of the Italian players in the starting lineup were involved.
Oh, they love getting rowdy, don't they, these Italians?
Yeah.
Right, I'm reversing into a parking space now.
Okay, so. Oh, come on. I got a feeling this game is going to go goalless.
Yeah, well, apparently the number 7 for Italy, Castrovilli, is still with Fiorentina, but I don't know if he's on the bench.
Joshua says
no, he's not.
Tottenham. Postecoglou wants to keep Kane from Man U. Yeah, even if James, if he's fully changed. Then Super fan, West Ham fans grow up, he says. So.
Yeah, Scott Minto saying on BBC Sport the West Ham fans shouldn't be doing that. It's poor and not needed, so disgraceful. Don't get involved in things like that. And Simon Stone, the BBC correspondent, saying every time a Fiorentina corner is awarded, missiles get thrown, and a security announcement telling them to stop. So thankfully that should be the end of that, but we could see some action being taken. And hopefully, with the cameras very much on them, some of those idiots will deservedly be banned for life.
Good. Yeah. I hope West Ham, if you're listening, I hope they cancel their season tickets as well. Ban them from all stadiums. Cancel their season tickets.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the season is pretty much over for them, so they probably might not buy a season ticket anyway, but still.
Yeah. Well, don't allow them to renew it then in that case.
Yeah, save them some money. Let them sit on their asses at home watching it on Sky or BT.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna move to my laptop now. See you all in a bit.
All right, cheers,
See,
Nippon.
just let me just go back to the
Yeah,
layouts.
so West Ham really have had a couple of shots on goal. Rice dragging it wide, and another speculative shot from I think um, I don't know remember who that was. That might have been Bowen or Benrahma. I forget who. But that, of course, forced the goalkeeper to scramble and save it. But Fiorentina have certainly looked like a team moving the ball really well. But when West Ham have been on the counter, they've been very effective
Yep,
indeed.
there's it was a beer cup set of thrown at the Fiorentina player and it hit him on the back of the head.
And corner to West Ham, won by Benrahma.
Six people watching. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Would be much appreciated. Um, West Ham be looking to get at least a goal before half time.
Yep. And the corner was just taken. A left-footed away swinger from Emerson headed out for another corner.
Yeah, that's I'm well. I'm well. Oh mates, hope you all well.
Pretty shabby attempt at a clearance, but Rice unable to get the shot on. And can Fiorentina clean up and move away? No, they can't. Benrahma once again the thick of things. Emerson now. And that will be a free kick to West Ham. And it's starting to get a little bit, niggly with fouls being committed. I think the closer we get to half time, the more fouls you will see committed in a desperate attempt to prevent a goal being scored. And clearly, Emerson, who was fouled there, was
Yeah.
not happy with that.
The thing is, if this game goes to extra time, not extra time, to into the second half, do we see both teams scoring? I don't think both teams will be scoring then. I think one team will be scoring. Only. Mad, yeah. It's it's mad. It's mad. And it's going to happen. If West Ham wins this competition, I believe they've got more European trophies than you and Tottenham.
Yeah, Nippon was talking about that earlier.
That's the only thing I'm excited for. That's one thing I want West Ham to win. Just just to get that up that in. But come on, West Ham, go give us a goal, please. Why is my thing so far behind? Okay. Still going West Ham. Who played in? Oh, the other way. Bowen just not at the right place at the right time. Hmm. Fortunately for him.
Yeah, West Ham have only won the European Cup Winners' Cup in 64-65. That, of course, was the season before the World Cup being won by England. And, of course, Bobby Moore and Martin Peters were a big part of both teams. And then they won the Intertoto Cup in 1999. So we've won the Fairs Cup and the Cup Winners' Cup. So spot on. If West Ham do win, they'll have more European titles than us.
Yeah, it's sad to see what's also do in Europe really. Um,
I'm not really confident, to be honest. I think if we see the draw, it'll probably be a case of us being drawn with a couple of the big teams. We'll be hoping for a shock or two, but the big teams will just have more nous in this competition than we will. I only hope that we won't avoid the fate that Celtic had and end up going out in the group stage, bottom of the group, not even getting into the Europa League.
I think I think
Four
you will
minutes of
have a
time added on. You were saying?
I think you will have a tough group, but you should be able to, I believe, finish third, something like that.
Finishing second would be amazing if we get to the next stage, but even in the next stage again, I'm not too
I think
sure what could happen.
Either dropping down to Europa League, or you by the fingernail snatch um, second place.
We'll see what happens. But then if we weren't able to get our act together in the Europa League, what makes us think that we'll do well in the Champions League?
Yeah.
You remember Sporting Lisbon? I was quietly confident of an Arsenal win, and then Ramsdale got lobbed from the halfway line. Couldn't save a single damn penalty. And you were cheering, and I was, angrily speaking. And that was a good stream, though.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Okay, it looks as though Mr. Sharma is back on the TV computer screen, and he's got his glasses and his headphones on. So, 2 more minutes of the half. What time are you on right now?
45 minutes. Sorry, 152 of extra time.
Good. So you and I are on exactly the same time, and it's a Fiorentina attack right now. Not so much an attack, really, but they're trying their best.
I'm watching it live.
So am I. So am I.
Cagey game, cagey. I think Fiorentina
I'm trying to take away the TV screen so that it doesn't get cancelled.
Yeah, I don't think any of Hanno's streams have been cancelled before, but
no.
always good to take precautions. And
I
I think the idea is as long as it's not clearly seen when you view it on playback, you're fine. And Fiorentina have a corner with about a minute or so to go.
Yeah.
Okay, am I safe or not really, or should I turn my screen away?
No, what? Make sure that listen, that head position is perfect because we can't see anything behind you.
Okay. Will the noise get cancelled or anything? Like the commentary.
No.
Yeah, we can't hear the commentary on your neck of the woods.
No, it's not.
Okay. So long as you can't hear it, I'm fine with it.
No, it's good. Oh. Okay, wait. Nah, it's fine. That's not clear enough. That's not clear enough. Definitely not clear enough. So yeah, hopefully last time is good. Yeah, I don't know.
And we have a goal just before half-time. What a time to score. An excellent chance, which was, well, and I think it's been disallowed for offside, though. And clearly the Italian manager's not having it, but we're going to take a look at it and see. What a brilliant chance and a brilliant goal. We're going to find out why it was disallowed. a beautiful cross from the right, and I think Jovic might have just strayed into a bit of an offside position there. He did, of course, head it beyond the line, and Areola. It is being checked though by VAR, but I think that will
I
be
don't
disallowed
think
because
Jovic
Jovic.
gets a touch on it. Don't
They
think
might
he
want to make
gets.
sure. Might want to make sure if you know if Jovic had just strayed before the ball was headed towards goal or whatever. I mean, he wasn't interfering with play, but maybe he
Oh,
might have
that's
been.
a tight one. That's a tight one. But I want to know is does it touch the ball or does it come straight up to West Ham player?
Well, we're going to take a look and see the replays, but
It's a tighter offside call. That's for
they're
sure.
still checking it, so they've not confirmed if it's disallowed or not.
Yeah, they're so checking it. I've only seen the one angle.
Check over. The goal has indeed been disallowed. So a little bit unlucky, and I think it's fair to say that Areola will have his blushes spared. And with that, I believe that is the half-time whistle.
Is that half time? Yeah, half time. So let me stop. $45. Resets. On the 45-minute mark. That gives me time.
So a little bit
Spencer
of
says
controversy or controversy, as they say in the US. I still prefer to say controversy.
Yeah, Ashim, Chesson says still can't believe we messed up the Gata deal. Now, for me, the Gata deal, let's talk Nepalese here. But so, my my speculation on the Gata deal is that there were rumors that we would
I
find
think
that in the contract we were.
it's not just English fans that are very rowdy and bad. Italian fans are just as vile.
Yeah. But my
The most well-behaved fan
thing
base
on
are the
the
Japanese.
my thing on the Gata deal, Joshua, is there were reports that we were going
I
to
mean,
try and buy uh, a small something small in the in the into the football club minimal stake. So I think George George Mendes found out that we were doing that and leaked that to PSG. That's why PSG all of a
I'm
sudden
glad we pulled
came
out of
out
the
as
Ugarte deal, by the way.
yeah with the Gata deal. Oh, that's why I think is PSG found that out. I think George Mendes snitched, and
Can I just say
PSG
something
found
about that
out.
Ugarte deal?
Uh, One sec, I'm just wanting to stop explain completely. PSG found out. They went to Sporting. They were like, we know that about that minority stake, and we we're going to if you don't let us have the player, we're going to port it to UEFA, and I think that's what's happened. I think that and Chelsea that, and they were just like scattered away from the deal. That's what I think happened. I don't know. Never new thoughts on the Ogata deal. Never
Yeah,
Ogata deal for you.
I'm glad we pulled out of it. I'm not going to lie.
Right?
I mean,
Don't
two
think.
hundred thousand pounds for someone who's unproven.
No,
Who
I
not,
think that £200,000. I think that's just something from the English media. Um, that they
and I'm
put on.
lapping it up.
I don't think they are. That is true. I think PSG came with the same offer. They one of them heard about uh PSG heard about our minority stake thing in sporting, and they were like, if this goes through, we lapping you guys up. We telling you guys, um, be up yourself, Bobby. Be up, be up, be up. So yeah. That incident where the fans threw stuff at the players is absolutely stupid. Yeah. Um,
And
who
as
is
usual,
on
it's the
top?
English. And as usual, it's the English that will always get the blame. No one talks about the racism in Italy from their fans.
No, I think people talk about it, but it's just in this game, in what's happened now. So yeah. Who's on top in this game? I'm going to say Fiorentina just by a bit, Graham. I think they have um, had some small. Have had a few. They've had the better chances, so I think they are on top in this game. I'm missing there is background noise. I believe that's from Nippon. If someone else just can confirm, is it very loud or is it okay? I don't know. Let me check. PSG,
I'll be right back, guys.
no worries. PSG, have they announced the deal? Mm, mm, no, they still haven't announced. They haven't announced it yet. So yeah. Um. So yeah. Um. But yeah. So on Friday, people, as it stands, it's 5 p.m. UK time. We might, I might move it a bit depending on the city fan. But as it stands, 5 p.m. UK time, we will have Inter Milan fan, and we will have a city fan on. So yeah, be up yourself, Nick. Like, be up. Yeah, Jude Bellingham was announced today. Jude Bellingham. Jude. Hey Jude. Hey Jude. So yeah. So yeah, this game a bit quiet. It has been gone down a bit, so yeah. Um so yeah. Um but yeah. Who I think Fiorentina are in the driving seat. I think West Ham will be playing for penalties. I can't lie. I don't think Moyes would want to go out and try and get a goal. I don't think he will. So yeah. Yes. Okay, you're back. I was just talking a bit about David Moyes and saying I don't think he will be going out and trying to grab a goal. I don't know what you think. I think he's going to play for penalties or something like that. Don't know about you, Manny. You? So yeah. But it's how do you see this final playoff, Manny? Oh, I froze. That's why. That's why I didn't respond. Um. So yeah, then. But you will be back. But for now, let me just put this timer there. So yeah. Mm,
Yeah, I'm back, and my internet connection is really, really acting up today. I hate it when it does that this time of the night. But yeah, you might have a point there. But listen, if Moyes becomes too defensive, then Fiorentina will start to attack and score. And just seeing the Dortmund Mainz game, and I don't think Gregor Kobel will really enjoy being beaten at his near post like that. A pretty awful goal to concede, especially in a championship, a Bundesliga deciding game. Uh, Dortmund penalty saved by the Mainz keeper. That is not what the coach wanted.
and is this preseason friendly?
No, this is the Bundesliga deciding game between Dortmund and Mainz. And Kobel ended up having a nightmare game. The Swiss reserve goalkeeper, while his compatriot Jan Sommer went on to win.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And if they had drawn this game while Bayern had won, they would have snatched it, but they just weren't able to. Yeah. No, actually, they
Grab
did.
them.
They did draw it. They did draw it, but lost on goal difference. They needed to win,
Yeah.
and
But
the
we have
sight of
all the new subscribers. I guess you guys are all from the shorts. So be up yourself. Over 150 views on that. Be up yourselves. Yeah.
yeah,
Be up
Graham. Good to
yourself.
see you, mate. Welcome back to the stream. And if you want to talk about who's on top, I would say that Fiorentina are slightly on top. Of course, had a goal disallowed just before the end of the first half. Correctly given, it had to be said, because Jovic ended up straying a little bit too far forward.
Yeah. I
Yes.
also agree. I think that was a bit too far forward. So yeah. Justin Fan says, "Come on, West Ham, please, no pants."
By the way, I actually saw the a little bit of the cricket, and I remember saying in the chat that it was a good toss for India to win, but to only have 3 wickets with Travis Head scoring a fine century and Stephen Smith also contributing with a brilliant 70-odd knock. I mean, they pretty much wet wrestled the.
I One thing, Sammy and I think it was
Yeah.
Shiraj, they bowled 16 overs on day one. And two of the bowlers already bowled 16 overs. For me, that should not be happening. I think they made a mistake, not including Ashwin.
They
Um,
definitely
was
made a mistake because they've only got Ravindra Jadeja as their left arm spinner, and we were talking about that, I think, on yesterday's show.
yeah,
So,
and I think
it, yeah,
Jadeja he did well. He wasn't smacked around or anything like that. He did a good job. Um, I'll look at his figures right now, but he didn't do an awful lot wrong. And yeah, some points.
no, he didn't. And a second top quality spinner in Ashwin Ravichandran should have, been selected and helped them. Also, his lower order batting would have been very useful. Um,
Yeah. Um, yeah, 14 overs, 48 runs. That's a pretty good total. That's a
yeah, I'm
pretty
watching
good
some
one.
French Open tennis. Rune and Rude. Rude won the first two sets, but is down 4-1 in the
And
third.
money, what did I tell you about Kawacha? What did I tell you?
I
He's a
responded to your message. I responded to your message by saying, look, that delivery from Siraj was an excellent delivery. Typical right arm fast medium delivery slanting across the left-handed batsman. He had Khawaja in trouble, but David Warner didn't look at ease for the most part either. Khawaja got a good
no,
still a good batsman. He's still been Australia's best batsman since coming back into the team. So if Australia get to bat in the second innings, I think he will be better. It was good to see Warner get some runs. I think they'll both feel as though they've missed out a little bit because once the demons sort of died down, basically Smith and Head have, pretty much put Australia ahead.
yeah.
And
I think
some good deliveries though.
um
That Shami delivery to Labuschagne, oh boy, that was brilliant.
oh boy, right before that I was cheering for him, saying Labuschagne, Labuschagne. Or the constellation, which is surname is Labuschagne, Labuschagne. Um and then I saw that peach of a delivery. Oh, incredible. And the thing is, I think that ball didn't swing as much. That ball almost kept a bit straighter than
Okay.
usual.
Yeah. So we're
So yeah,
coming back onto the field, and I believe there's a change being made by Fiorentina. Jovic, who scored the disallowed goal, is being brought off, and it is Arthur Mendonça Cabral who is coming on to replace him.
that's definitely not a mouthful. But yeah,
When you're
just
born with a very long, unpronounceable name like yours truly, you become, uh, sensitive and empathetic towards people with long names and make sure you pronounce them correctly.
yeah. So when it's out, you can just tell me so I can press the start button.
Just started. West Ham have kicked off and they're attacking from left to right.
Okay, so that should be that. Right. So yeah,
Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
I'm just
Sushek
waiting.
barging into the number 16 Ranieri. No relation to um, Claudio, I would imagine, although I could look it up. Luca Ranieri.
Let's kick off now, please.
And
I'm about 33 seconds behind you.
yeah.
So yeah, hopefully we see some goals, please. Come on, some goals would be good. No, no, no's. 1-1. No,
Well, we
no,
nearly
no's.
had a
Just
goal,
one
of
one.
course.
I like this manager from Fiorentina. It looks like a just off his presence. It
Yeah,
looks like a
chipped into
good
the penalty area, beyond the defence. It is still headed chipped back into play, but nobody's on the end of that. Bonaventura heads it back to Ranieri, out to the captain Biraghi on the left. Uh, Sort of gets it to the number 38 Mandragora, but it is back with Amrabat, the Moroccan. Bonaventura. Cordero dos Santos, the right back. Rabat again.
Come on.
Finds number 99, Kwame, in the penalty area, but wasn't able to get a really good first touch on it. It will be a Fiorentina throw, though.
Come on.
Not the best of control there by Mandragora, and West Ham can break.
What do you guys think?
And claims for a handball, but the referee isn't interested. It's with Bonaventura now.
So let's say
Cordero
Fiorentina
Santos, who
gets the first goal.
is
Do you guys
dispossessed
think
by Declan Rice.
West Ham have a better chance than Fiorentina to get an equaliser? Or not? Do you guys think with West Ham, will West Ham or Fiorentina, let's say one of them takes the lead, what do you guys think has the better chance to get an equaliser? I'm going to say Fiorentina. I think they have the better chance to get an equaliser.
I'd
Don't know
probably
about
go
you.
with West Ham, though. I think Fiorentina will take the lead, but West Ham should be able to fight hard and come back. It's just funny, though, because once again, it's like a typical European final where neither team seems to be really that interested in scoring. But when there is a goal scored, you will see a big response. And Dos Santos is not very... He goes by Dodo, apparently. Certainly smarter than a Dodo, but... There's a player down the penalty area, but the referee waves play on, and that should go out for a corner. But it is Bowen who's clutching his head, having taken a bit of a knock from behind. Thankfully, no bleeding.
Yeah.
And there is no foul on the boy. Seriously, none. Why he was clutching the back of his head. Apparently an elbow there from Biragi. Definitely rather sneaky sort of elbow in a way, but Bowen's fine to continue. And he will, in fact, be taking the corner. Should be a right-footed... Let's see if it's right-footed or left-footed. It is, in fact, a left-footed in-swinger, so does it swing in? It does swing in, but it is headed out. And that should be
That's
a...
offensive. It's going to pens. I can see it now. I just... Whoa,
Wait a minute, but there's extra
elbow.
time also to consider.
I don't think anyone scores really in extra time.
And keeper claims that and starts a little bit of an attack there. And I think it's been put out of play because there's a Fiorentina player on the floor. Yeah, it's Gonzalez, number 22, who probably caught by a stray hand there.
Would you say there are any more hated fan base than the English? Or would you say we're the most hated?
I'd say the Spaniards should be up there. Spanish.
Do you think but we're more hated than the Spanish, though?
I think the French. I'm sorry. I think the French. Yeah, the French. I think for me, they up there.
I know one set of fans who aren't hated at all, the Scots.
So, Nippon, if you want to speak, just unmute your mic, and then after just mute it again because background noise is a bit loud.
I do like the look of Amrabat, sort of playing as a kind of sweeper almost in that back four. And a huge, nasty collision there between Agard and what looks like Gonzalez. Gonzalez clutching his rib and Agard also riding on the floor. Going to take a look and see. Not sure. Well, the referee has his card out. I wonder who he's going to book.
This is why I want West Ham to win.
What's why?
A Fiorentina fan did this.
I'll check your Twitter and find out. Well, you must have quote tweeted that, I think.
Yeah, I did.
I don't think can't blame Fiorentina. It's just the guys are. It's like that. I don't think you can blame the club.
Yeah, can't seem to find that tweet, Lippen.
Right.
So, what exactly did the tweet say?
Hang on, I'll tag you in a comment.
Oh, has there been a goal?
Nope. I forgot to mention that it was the second half and not the first half.
Oh. Got it.
So it's Dodo on the right. Dodo, perhaps. Amrabat. And they're sort of bringing the ball a little bit far too back now, Fiorentina,
Right.
as long as they can.
Check your Twitter.
Did you report this?
I did. Did you see it?
Seen it and reporting it right now. But
See, that's why I want West Ham to win today. I'm sorry, there's a difference between throwing stuff at players and blatant racism.
True. But yeah, quiet first half. Money. What's going on there in Prague?
Yeah, the first half was a little bit quiet, but in the second half, it's started to really get a little bit. I mean, obviously, both teams are trying to make sure they get a chance at goal. The Fiorentina goalkeeper has been quite.
So yeah.
Well, but there's an attack with Cabral involved. Guame with a shot on goal, but easy for Ariola to gather that. And we're going to once again, Fiorentina of the play and trying to make a few things happen. I think Ariola will have been with the. I was just about to say Ariola would have been relieved with the linesman's decision because that was pretty poor goalkeeping on his part for the goal that was, thankfully for him, disallowed.
Yeah, true. Neppen, what have you made of this game so far? Neppen.
Well, Bowen's claiming a handball, but the linesman, the referee, are not interested.
Of course they're not. Anglophobia is rife.
I don't think you can say that, but okay.
Well, wait, there's a penalty check, which has just gone to VAR. Bowen was complaining
Come on,
about
please.
who the guilty party. And apparently it might have been against the captain Biragi. They're gonna check and see if his hand was in an unnatural position. That could be given as a potential penalty because his hand was actually in front as the ball hit it. So potential penalty check. So far, the referee has not had to go to the monitor. Still going on.
Let me see this replay.
Ooh, it looks as though he could be going to the monitor.
I don't think you can. There's no way you can give that. There's absolutely.
Well, I've seen that given, mind you.
No. What's he supposed to do?
No, that was an unnatural position. That was unnatural. That was unnatural.
Brother, you are running. You are running. Nah. That's not a pen. That's not a pen. As much as I want West Ham to score, that is not a pen.
I want Fiorentina to lose. Penalty given.
Penalty?
Yep.
No, never. That ref is a disgrace. Absolute disgrace.
Yeah, Biragi is still unhappy with the decision, but all he can do is just accept it and hope that his goalkeeper saves it. Going to find out, and another substitution being made. It is Ricardo Saponara coming on for Christian Kouame. So the Fiorentina goalkeeper is Pietro Terraciano, and if he is able to save this penalty, he could very well end up being a hero. But there are some people who will claim that that should not have been given.
That's never pen, but okay. But okay. Never pen.
And it's been scored.
1-0.
And I believe it's Benrahma who's, clearly the Fiorentina coach is fit to be tied, but Fiorentina now have it all to do. Side Benrahma with that penalty.
Never pen for me, but at least I just need now another goal. And that goal needs to be Fiorentina. That's
I don't care if it was a pen or not. I just want to see Fiorentina lose.
Yeah. I want them to lose too, but come on. What minute? 62.
Yeah. A
Yes.
very powerful penalty. Terraziano went the wrong way, dived to his right. It was hit high and handsome to the keeper's left. And, yeah.
I believe that is how you spell his name. Not, then just correct me.
And West Ham, buoyed by that penalty, are certainly going to try and attack. And there is a foul on Jared Bowen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it had to be given. It was a pretty poor attempt to clear it that from the captain Biragi. And if West Ham get a second goal, then that should be game, set, and match, really. I don't see Fiorentina having
Fiorentina.
Why do you want Fiorentina to win?
No, I want West Ham to win, but on pens. So I need a Fiorentina goal. That's what
Look,
I want.
Racism is much worse than throwing stuff. I'm not condemning the fans throwing stuff, but I'm just saying racism is worse than that.
Nobody's saying that. I'm just saying I want a West Ham 1-1. I want West Ham to win on pens.
Well, it's in the West Ham penalty area, and Rice has to clear that. I think they're claiming for a penalty now, Fiorentina, and there's a booking for. Yeah, the chat's going crazy with a lot of people saying that was never a booking. I'm going to disagree. That was. I've seen penalties like that given because, according to the letter of the law, if you're in an unnatural position, then that has to be given a penalty. And it's a booking for the number 34, Amrabat.
But okay. Just one thing. Come on, West Ham, get another one, please.
Well, it's still a Fiorentina attack, and they to throw. Amrabat trying to send it out far right, but is there anyone on the end of that? It is in the penalty area. Very well knocked down, and Fiorentina have equalised.
Come on.
It is the number 5, Bonaventura. Just when I thought that that it would be difficult for Fiorentina to come back into it, I'll tell you what, that was some really good defensive work. And Moyes will not be happy with that. Yeah?
Tell West Ham
Yes?
to relax till after 120 minutes. So relax for the next 60 minutes. Relax. Chill. Chill. That's it, seems.
67 minutes.
Both teams. Relax.
Great knockdown. Well controlled by Bonaventura. And I think Areola didn't really have much of a chance there. How about that for an assist? Gonzalez there with that brilliant knockdown. Well controlled by... Pardon me. And probably Areola's positioning wasn't really the best. And I think he probably should have dived a bit further there.
Didn't you say that you wanted West Ham to win?
Yeah.
You're talking to me?
Then why are you celebrating Fiorentina equalising?
Because he wanted West Ham to win on penalties.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, 50 quid is on the line. If it stays like this, and West Ham win on penalties, then I'm happy. So chill for the next 60 minutes. Chill, just chill. Yes, Spencer, definitely didn't last long. Definitely. Did not.
And now it's Fiorentina's turn to be on the attack and some desperate defending from West Ham in the process.
Defense. West Ham. Defense.
But a chance for West Ham to take the lead. Some good defending and goalkeeping. But the referee's whistle had gone. I believe the linesman's flag would have been up for an offside against Michail Antonio there anyway. So it's now become a quite sort of a fun game, very end-to-end football. And that's what you want to see in a European final. You want to see two teams going out to win it. And the goalkeeper, Terracciano, making himself big and preventing any kind of danger. But Fiorentina are back. Amrabat running the strings again.
Let's all do this. Let's all do this. So, yeah, please do this wherever you are. Please do this.
And do we have a possible goal here? No, we don't.
No.
That was wide. Laid off there, and Areola beaten again, but this time for him, wasn't able to get the shot on target.
Um, come on. So time left. So time left. Don't.
About 18 minutes or so left until it goes to extra time. I really don't think either team would be interested in seeing it go to extra time, but it is what it is. Some desperate defending there, really good defending that from Bonaventura, the goal scorer. But it is back with West Ham. Pagata passing it over to, I believe that's Benrahma. And it
No.
headed back in by Souček, but Biragi is there to clear it away. And Dodo over there with some really smart play.
Hold on. Come on. Hold on, West Ham. Hold on. Come on. That's a. I have just seen the Fiorentina goal. Great goal. Great goal.
Yeah, and some horrible play there, really, from the number 4, Milenkovic, and Moyes is apoplectic. A well-deserved booking, that.
Come on. What, 15 more minutes? Come on.
We'll see this West Ham free kick, if they can make anything from it. Nice free kick, chipped into the area, but well headed away. Only as far as Kufal, who fouls it over the bar. And it looks as though Pablo Fornals will be coming on for the penalty scorer Benrahma.
Imagine if Fornal scores the winner.
Why, did he come from Serie A?
No, he came from Villarreal.
So, attack by Fiorentina. Well defended, but pretty poor effort there from Luca Ranieri. But West Ham end up giving it back anyway. Saponara with that, and a nice shot there from the captain Biragi, but straight down Areola's throat.
Yep.
So West Ham are still probably going to try and hold on to the ball. I'm not too sure that they will have quite enough in them to go out for a winner, but Fiorentina will almost certainly. Yellow card for the West Ham substitute. No, it's the Fiorentina substitute, Alfred Duncan, who's been booked. And there could be some more West Ham subs on the way. Kufal controlling it. But Saponara able to... all he does is really send it out for a throw, and Kufal's not really happy with the lineswoman. I also should mention that we have an all... he has a point there because Saponara did in fact see the ball come onto his elbow, but maybe that was accidental and the lineswoman didn't think anything of it. But in any case, it's a throw-in, a dangerous sort of throw-in. Great save from the keeper, but will that be forced in? No, it won't. And that could very well be a crucial save indeed, because what a brilliant piece of play that was from West Ham. Just when I thought they wouldn't have it in them to go for a winner, they just do just that. And, Souček over there into the ground. Not great save from Souček, and I mean the keeper, Terracciano, and Dodo cleaning up nicely. I think the whistle was blown for a foul on Milenkovic. Antonio basically getting his studs into the defender's face. So it is now with Fiorentina, and Martinez sort of backheeling that into the air. It is with Antonio, but Amrabat wins it back. And some shirt tugging going on there between Paquetá and Amrabat, and the referee saying, sorry, Sofiane, you were tugging his shirt. Uncalled for. Well, there were already two Moroccans who have been crowned European club champions in Yassine Bouno and Youssef En-Nesyri. Will Sofiane Amrabat join them?
Well, Nayef Aguerd could join them.
Yes, he definitely could. Well spotted, Nippon. And another top save from the Fiorentina keeper, Terracciano. He could very well be the person who keeps his team in the hunt.
Yeah, he's keeping them in the game.
He's
keeping them in the game.
Pun intended.
I don't know what the pun was meant to be. I'm missing something.
Well, he's a keeper. Well, he's a keeper, so he's keeping them in the game.
Ah, I get you.
Let me check the comments right now. I think we got something like more than a few comments. Yeah, the Hammers lead didn't last long. Chelsea going for West Ham to win. Let's all manifest the scoreline stays like this and West Ham win on penalty so that Hanno gets richer. We'll see if that happens. I mean, I wouldn't mind him getting a few more rand for his collection. How did West Ham not score? Your guess is as good as mine. 2-0 West Ham. Thanks a lot, stupid West Ham. Sorry, Chelsea fan. It is what it is. I think it's fair to say that maybe you should have gone with your more experienced Polish number one instead of the French number 3, or number 2, rather. And it looks as though Hanno is momentarily off, but he will be back. Okay, so it looks as though he might be here. So I'm going to sort of take control of this thing and take it through. Nipun, you're on the same time as me, so we've got Milenkovic over here, and we've got Amrabat now on the ball.
Manny TV, everyone. This has turned into Mr. T's football talk.
Thank you very much indeed, Football Podcast.
Sorry for calling
Shout
you
out to
Mr. T. I do not want to butcher your surname.
No, it's all right. It's all right. I do like Mr. T. I be the fool who can't pronounce my name. The A team. A nice, pretty poor shot there from the captain Biragi. Never on target. Never going to trouble anyone. Out of frustration, probably. And I see Luca Ranieri being drenched in sweat, and he is in fact being brought off for the number 98, Igor Julio dos Santos de Paulo. And decent game for him.
Is he Argentine?
Certainly. Who, Ranieri? I believe he's Italian.
No, I know Ranieri is Italian. That name you just pronounced, Del Sol, whatever.
I believe it's Portuguese or Brazilian. It might be Brazilian.
Wait, has Hanno actually left the stream? Who's going to end it?
Certainly not speedy, but quite effective. Bonaventura trying to make something happen, but even against Amrabat, there could really only be one winner. Passes out to Antonio on the left, received it from Antonio. A poor tackle that from Amrabat, which should be penalised, and it is.
%. I would 100% take him.
Yep.
When will Hanno be back?
If we could. We'll see if he comes back, but at the moment, I'm pretty much, taking over. And obviously for the Europa League final, I had to handle the penalties because he couldn't, be here. It is Declan Rice with the free kick. The Rice has certainly not looked too undercooked tonight. We'll see if he provides something tasty here.
He's been average today.
Had a few moments, but yeah, you're right. Not really been too effective. But a free kick into the area, and that is headed away. Some
typical English players in finals. Typical English players in finals. Do absolutely nothing.
Oh, come on, that's harsh. I mean, there have been some players who've shone. I'm sure you and I will have reason to remember a certain Edward Paul Sheringham from 1999.
Oh, yes. I don't know what I was doing on that day. I swear David Beckham provided the assist for Sheringham's leveller in that game.
I'm pretty certain that happened too. So that disproves your talk about typical English performances in European clubs.
But as of late. And wait, now that I think of it, Teddy Sheringham actually provided the assist for Solskjaer's winner.
Yep, the two super subs. Ferguson very nearly lost the game that day when he started Blomqvist on the left and Giggs on the right. It was only after Blomqvist came off that Giggs switched and Solskjaer and Sheringham came on an attack that they started to live a lot more
play on the left? Doesn't that cheat play on the left?
He usually played his career, his entire football career. He played on the left. Of course, now he'd be expected to come in on the right and cut in, but that just wasn't his style. He was every inch the overlapping winger who would provide his best football from the left and had a pretty good left foot.
I'm going to be here on the day of the UCL final as well.
Oh, very nice.
I'm in mixed emotions about the UCL final. Do I want Lukaku to win so that his ego goes through the roof, or no? It's a tough one. I don't want Man City to win because they'll gain momentum on Chelsea, but I also don't want Inter to win because can they just both lose? Honestly,
I'd sooner have Inter Milan win because I know that Henrik Mkhitaryan won't be available to play, but he certainly played his role. Amrabat with a shot, easy save there from Areola. When you shoot from distance, it's going to take something special to beat any keeper, leave alone Alphonse Areola. But some great build-up play from Fiorentina there. Amrabat giving himself some room. Rice almost sort of backing away, not really going into that. And Areola had that covered. Decent dive down to his right. And a pretty poor foul there by the substitute, Igor Julio, on Antonio. And with a minute and a half of normal time to go, stoppages to follow.
Did you hear that Leon midfielder has recently declared for Algeria? You guys were linked with him a few summers ago. Hossam Aouar.
Hossam Aouar, yeah.
Yeah, he quite recently declared for Algeria. West Ham seem to be waking up now.
Yep, and a crossover there, a foul on the goalkeeper who otherwise would have caught that. It's fair to say, though, that he didn't really, he wasn't exactly very convincing in trying to go for that, but there was a foul on him, so Terracciano can breathe a sigh of relief. And we are now 30 seconds away from the end of normal time. We will find out if there will be a last-minute winner or will it go to extra time.
There could be.
It could very well be a last-minute winner. Bowen on his own.
There is.
And that could very well be that.
Okay, that just disproves my theory once again.
Jared Bowen in the 90th minute. Some pretty poor defending there from Fiorentina, leaving Bowen on his own. It was a one-on-one with the keeper. And
this reminds me of Torres in 2012.
Well, it could be checked. Nope, it was the captain who played Bowen onside, and he was able to get onto the ball immediately. And Terracciano went down to his right, but Bowen dinked it over his left. And could that be the final act? West Ham are blowing bubbles, ladies and gentlemen, and they could be set to win their third European title, going one above the far from mighty Arsenal.
Come on, you guys are still a big club, though. I mean, I hate you guys with a passion, but you guys are still a big club.
Yeah, I think the keeper might have been better, sort of trying to stand up and make himself big there. But full credit to Jared Bowen. What a time to score. What a way to score. And we're going to find out how much time will be added on. There could be quite a bit of added on time, but there is, in fact, 5 minutes of time added on. But I do not see Fiorentina coming back after conceding a goal like that so late in the game. And a lot of people were praising Jose Mourinho after he won last year. Now, of all people, David Moyes, another former Manchester United manager, could end up with his name on the trophy. And that is, of course, a foul on the goal scorer.
You really hate Man United, don't you, Manny? You really hate Man United.
I don't really hate Manchester United. I despise Mourinho with a passion.
He's better than Arteta, though. And if you were given the opportunity to have him, you'd have him at Arsenal. Don't lie. You'd be lying if you said you wouldn't.
No, I'm not lying, and I'll tell you why. Because I think, look, I don't care if he's a serial winner. He also, yeah, and by that I don't mean that he wins cereal boxes. He does win trophies. But,
do you want a classy? Do you want a classy loser or a classless winner?
I want a classy winner. Get me Don Carlo Ancelotti.
But if you had to
No.
choose, Carlo's still in a job.
So he hasn't been sacked by Madrid, has he? 2 minutes left. It's all hands on deck, and it looks as though Ogbonna will be brought on to replace Antonio, who had a bit of a quiet game by his standards. And so West Ham could end up back in the Europa League in the unlikeliest of circumstances. A season after the disappointment of missing out on a place in the Europa League final, losing to Frankfurt, Eintracht Frankfurt, who went on to win. Their name could very well be etched on the Conference League trophy as only the second winners after AS Roma. But there is still a minute left, and Fiorentina now really have to go for it. Igor Julio to Amrabat. Passes it to Biraghi, who sends it long all the way down the right, but that is in fact well kept in. Bonaventura with the header, but West Ham defend that fairly well. But it is still back with Fiorentina for the most part. A nice karate kick away. If there is another goal scored, that would really put the cat amongst the pigeons. A West Ham goal, of course, would be the icing on the cake. But we could very well end up seeing Terracciano come up to try and, play a role in the attack. It is, of course, Bonaventura who scored the equalizer, who now has the ball. 20 seconds left. It looks as though this could be it for Fiorentina unless they come up with something magical. Well, the number 8 there, Saponara, has won a throw-in, but the seconds are ticking away. Amrabat into the penalty area, headed down, and Fornals can clear that. And will that be the last kick of the game? Well, the referee has not yet blown his whistle, but it shouldn't be too long from now. Dodo with the ball. No, the referee's still playing on. There is one more chance, but that should be that after the substitute.
Kick it out!
All I will say is that I'm glad that Hanno didn't see this, because he would have been hopping mad when Bowen scored that goal. But there could very well be one more minute of added time being played, because we're into 5:38. Igor Julio sending that long, headed down, but not the best first touch from Cabral. Emerson can get that away. All West Ham have to do is keep the ball, and some more dark arts there from Fiorentina, but I think that should be that now. 6 minutes have been played. The referee should blow his whistle. And the foul committed there by Amrabat. Moyes urging calm. Heck, at this rate, I'd have David Moyes over Arteta. It's 6:49, but it won't be long now. Last free kick to West Ham, and Kufal sending it through. That should go out for well, it doesn't go out for a goal kick. It goes straight into the goalkeeper's hands. But we're coming up to 7 minutes. His goal kick should be the last kick of the game. No, they're still playing. A yellow card there for Jared Bowen. I'm not too sure why. I'm not too sure
this
he'll
game
mind.
is fixed.
Why would it be fixed?
Because they keep going.
No, I mean, there have been some stoppages for the goal celebration and the play, but it could very well be that Amrabat looks winded there. So it looks as though he won't join En-Nesyri and Bunu as European club winners, but Naif Agurd indeed will. Last chance, though, a Fiorentina free kick. A chance to... and the keeper has indeed come up. I wonder if it's going to be a repeat of the Emi Martinez incident, and it's missed by everyone, but that goes out for what looks like a corner, and it's over.
They've done it.
West Ham United are the 2023 Europa Conference League champions with an amazing, amazing win in normal time. It doesn't go to extra time. It doesn't go to penalties. And for that, I say, thank the Lord. There's no way that I could have tolerated the prospect of it going that long. We're going to take a look at the comments, and then I'll get to you, Mr. Sharma. Please don't mind. Yeah, so it was... you got a feel for the goalkeeper there, Terracciano, who had had an excellent game, but with Bowen one-on-one, and the Italian manager, Italiano, is still not happy. But Moyes and his boys are blowing bubbles. Danny Ings, who a wonderful moment there between the two Moroccans, Agurd and Amrabat. Danny Ings, of course, didn't get to see action tonight, but he is now, of course, a European champion after leaving Aston Villa. And I expected nothing less from him, really. West Ham. And that gives you the answer of who scored. Not off. Congratulations to the Hammers. And yes, this would be their... actually, their first trophy was in '65 when they won the European Cup Winners' Cup. And they won the Intertoto Cup in 1999, not in 1980. Hoping for an equaliser from Fiorentina. Hoping that it would go to penalties. It is now full-time. Well done, West Ham. And no penalties. So, Hanno, I'm really sorry, but, you're going to have to put up with this. And the manager is still remonstrating with the referee. Yep. So that's pretty much it. And this is the story. West Ham are the Europa Conference League champions. Jared Bowen there with an amazing, amazing winner in the very last minute of normal time. 5 minutes of stoppage time, which went on to become 8 minutes of stoppage time, which were just not enough. And they're blowing bubbles in Prague.
Imagine if Aston Villa win it. Oh my God. Imagine if Aston Villa win it next year with Mr. Good Evening.
There is a chance they could, but listen, they also have to enter a playoff with a seventh lower ranked team from League A. So again, that's not going to be guaranteed. And once they win that playoff, they go to the main draw, obviously. I believe Said Benrahma has a few family members there in Prague. Wonderful to see. And so I wonder if you're going to stay and watch the trophy presentation, or is that going to be it for you, Mr. Sharma?
No, I'm going to stay for the presentation.
And so if this is to be Declan Rice's last game in a West Ham shirt, there can be no better way to end his West Ham career than lifting a European trophy. Just the way Peter Schmeichel did with Manchester United that night in Barcelona. He was, of course, captain for the day with Roy Keane suspended.
We won the Champions League for the first time in a very similar way. Our captain was suspended too for the final, if you remember that.
Yes, but unlike Roy Keane, John Terry had the nerve to, get dressed in full uniform and walk up to collect the trophy. At least Roy Keane recognised that it was the moment belonged to the team, and Peter Schmeichel collected it. That's
Sorry, that moment belonged to Frank Lampard. He was the captain on the night.
Absolutely. And the same thing was done again when you lot won the Europa League under Rafa Benitez.
I never liked John Terry, even though I do have a picture with him.
Parking his vehicle in a disabled spot, vomiting and making an idiot of himself on 9/11 in front of some horrified
And
American
obviously
passengers.
that incident with Anton Ferdinand.
Oh, yes.
He's a good footballer, don't get me wrong, but I do not like his actions off the pitch.
And this is going to be controversial, but if you were to ask me to choose between John Terry and Sol Campbell for England, I'd take Solskjaer Jeremiah Campbell any day of the week and twice on a Sunday. Yes, a bit of Arsenal bias, but Campbell was everything that Terry would never be.
A good defender.
Terry, in fact, was one of the biggest culprits, mind you, when we had that awful 2010 World Cup campaign in South Africa.
Yeah.
He never should have continued to play for England after that.
Look, I think Rio Ferdinand's better than him. I'm not going to lie.
Rio's a different type of defender. He was more the ball player, whereas with Terry and Campbell, you'd get the aerial dominance.
Look, every defensive partnership, in my opinion, needs an aggressor and a calming presence.
Yeah. And of course, the captain Biragi, who probably will be at fault for having played Bowen on side, also saluting the fans. Declan Rice, of course, captain on the night.
I hope his fractured skull gets better.
It wasn't fractured, it was just a cut on the back of his head.
Nevertheless, I hope it gets better.
Yeah. And by the way, that idiot who posted that tweet, he's been reported a few times. That tweet should probably be, deleted. Maybe his account will be
How many times has he
suspended.
been reported?
I don't know. I don't cap those things.
Before that tweet, I wouldn't have minded who won or lost the game. But after the tweet, I'm like, nah, I want West Ham to win.
Well, I'm glad West Ham won. I know it might be sacrilegious for me to say as an Arsenal fan, but I tell you what, the fact that we have almost no European heritage of which to speak is really our fault. Under Arsene Wenger, I know we reached a Europa League and a Champions League final and a semi-final in both competitions, but nobody remembers the runners-up unless the champions are mentioned before them. And West Ham United's name...
Declan Rice crying tears of joy, by the way.
As you'd expect it. As you'd expect. Well, apparently you got some person saying that the West Ham fans who threw with the object at Biragi, for that the team should be disqualified and kicked out of the tournament. I'm not too sure. Ooh, boy. I think there is... Yeah. But again, those fans who threw those beer cups and ended up, cutting Baragi's head open, they should be ashamed of themselves. And I think there will be, if they end, it's just as well that they've seen the team win, because they should have their season ticket privileges revoked. You're absolutely right. I agree with you.
Their season ticket should be ripped apart. Ripped to shreds.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And fed to the dogs.
It actually went in off the goalkeeper's leg, so Terracciano will definitely feel sick with that. But Bowen there, rising to the occasion, and we will be seeing him in the Europa League. I don't want to see there be any talk about West Ham potentially winning the Europa League next year and maybe the Champions League the year after that, though. number 20, which is what they call a score. And that was a pretty good score from the number 20. All right. Good stream. See you next time. Take care, Chelsea fan. I've got to go as well. Take care of yourself, mate. Thank you for joining us, Spencer, Liverpool fan. And I will, in fact, just change the banner a little bit to... Oops, my bad.
I'm contemplating driving down to Dagenham High Street and see how crazy it is down there.
Just take a look at the... Yeah, listen, I don't know if you want to do that. I really don't know if you want to do that.
Why? I want to see the celebrations.
Mate, if you get caught up in that, it's going to be very dangerous, believe me.
I'll be in my car. I won't be... You honestly think I'll expose myself as a blue? No chance. I'll be in my car.
Yeah. But I'm just going to provide a summary of the match, of course. At the end of full time, at the end of 19 minutes, it is Fiorentina 1, West Ham 2. All the action worth reporting on taking place in the second half side. Benrahma putting West Ham ahead through a potentially contentious penalty, but in the end which was the right decision in my opinion. As you agree with me, Mr. Sharma, that was an unnatural handball from the captain Biraghi. And not a game to remember for Biraghi, obviously. Probably at fault for both goals and also cutting ahead. Łukasz Fabianski, the West Ham number 1, didn't see a minute of action tonight, but he's happy to celebrate it with his mates, as are the other substitutes, Cresswell, Johnson, Ings, and so forth. Some glum faces on the Fiorentina faithful. You never like to see supporters like that at the end of the game, but
no, look,
the winner,
not
takes
them,
it all.
But I'm glad that the person who posted that racist tweet is upset. I'm glad he's suffering. I feel for the match day going fans, but not for him. Let me just make that absolutely clear.
And the substitute Barak also in tears, covering his. He came on for the last 5 minutes and played a few minutes, but you can see how much it affected him. He could potentially have become a savior, but it just sadly wasn't to be. But I suppose you could call this a bit of a smash and grab, really, because West Ham didn't really create too many chances, but they were always going to be threatening on the counter-attack, and that is a typical Moyes performance, I would say. And Bowen, of course, yeah?
Do you think Fiorentina underestimated West Ham by saying, oh, it's just another disappointing English team and they never perform? Or
I don't think
do you
they
think
did. I don't think they did because, look, obviously West Ham didn't have the best season in the Premiership, but getting to the final stage of any European competition is no joke, and they certainly did well enough to make sure they got there. Although it must be said that the caliber of teams in this competition, for the most part, is absolutely, quite poor. Having said that, of course, if Arsenal were somehow, God forbid, to enter this competition, I wouldn't mind seeing them, win it. And let's bear in mind that in Arteta's first 2 seasons, he failed to qualify us even for that. And then, of course, we missed out on the Champions League. We missed out on the Premiership title. I suppose there's a saying that if you've got to fail, you've got to fail upwards. Ha! You're mute, Nippon.
Sorry, I was just getting into an argument with a brain-dead Arsenal fan.
Aren't you glad to have a sensible Arsenal fan on your screen with you?
I'm glad I'm glad there are a few of you who exist, like Mr. Kenny and Mr. Jez and Mr. Gunner, who I know you don't want to associate with, but I still go on it.
Yeah,
I still appear on his comments.
Yeah, I told you why I'm not too fond of him. I don't want to repeat that on this stream, but
Of course,
you
of
know,
course. You're not going to hate me for wanting to associate with him, no?
no, I won't. I mean, listen, you have a right to, be involved with whoever you want to be involved, and if you obviously want to. I mean, the only reason why I watch that fella's streams is for Jez and Kenny, but and also for Matt Odom, with whom I've started to do a lot of work of late, and they've just about set the podium up for the presentation ceremony. I'm sure we're not going to see the Fiorentina manager walk up before his players, receive his medal, and then throw it into the crowd. That was really, I'm sorry to say, a display of absolute petulance and arrogance. You do
But
not do
but
that.
look, you don't. But look, he had a point. He says he doesn't do losers. He doesn't do losing. He doesn't like losing.
Nobody likes losing. Nobody does. But it's how you conduct yourself in those moments that defines you as a person. Your attitude determines your altitude.
Look, Jack Grealish did the same thing after getting a silver medal in Wembley, but no one condemned his actions.
When did he get a silver medal at Wembley?
Remember in the Euros final, in the European Championships.
Oh, if I'd seen that, I would have condemned him too. I'm consistent that way. Just as I would condemn Paolo Maldini for doing the same in the 2005 Champions League final. If you're given a medal, you don't just rip it off. It's a narcissistic thing to do.
Did he
because
do
the
that?
cameras are on
It's a
you.
loser's medal, though. It's a shame. It's a stain on your CV as a player and as a manager.
Oh, no. It is not a stain, okay? I mean, getting knocked out in the first round of a tournament would be a shame. You get to a final and you win a medal. I mean, that's still nothing. Would you say that an Olympic silver medal is shameful compared to a gold medal?
Oh, look, it's rewarding It's rewarding failure, in my opinion. What do you win for coming second in the Premier League? Nothing.
I get your point there, but obviously there's for some reason they don't award silver medals to the runners-up. But the trophy is being brought out right now. I don't know who that player is.
Mark Noble.
Vladimir Smitsa. No, it looks like Vladimir Smitsa to me.
Oh,
it is the guy who's bringing it out. Oh, it might be Mark Noble.
It is Mark Noble.
He is
someone.
Of course, yeah.
He's someone I used to rate when he played.
It looks as though the officials are going up to receive their medals. First, the referee.
Why do they get
medals? The lines.
Why did the referees get
the game? Didn't they? It's protocol.
I thought it was just the players and the manager.
Everyone gets it. Officials, players, managers. I believe they have a set of about 30 or 40 medals to give to an entire squad. And I love this custom now of the. We'll see. It might be the head of UEFA. But at the moment, I love this new custom of the winning team giving the losing team a guard of honor and applauding them. That's wonderful.
I like that too. I like that.
Yeah, and the captain, Biragi, comes up to receive a silver medal. You don't see him ripping it off. Dodo, the right back, Sofian Amrabat, and several of the substitutes who still have their shell.
But I've also seen people defend Mourinho
Yeah?
I've seen people defend Mourinho by saying he was actually giving it to a fan rather than throwing it away.
No, it was premeditated. He walked up before the rest of the team and did that. So he knew exactly what he was doing. And you don't just walk away and receive your medal like that from your teammates. You win as a part of the team. You lose as a part of the team. It's not about you. You arrogant little so-and-so.
So, okay, I'm just asking you a question now. Say if Mourinho replaced Arteta, would you want him out on the first day?
No,
would
I
you back
wouldn't.
your-
I'd give him a chance until the end of the season and see what he can do. If he wins the trophy, that's well. But if things go terribly and the football is awful and we're not really winning anything, we sack him just like we did Unai Emery and just like Tottenham sacked it. You know, I realised that the timing of his sacking just before a cup final.
You know, if I was
But he
Daniel
had to be sacked
Levy,
because the football was simply awful. They were the foot they were playing was
if
simply
I was
awful,
Daniel
and he
Levy,
wasn't getting anywhere.
if I was Daniel Levy, I would say
Yeah.
win that final, and then you're out the door. I'd give him the final.
Yeah, that would have
I
been
mean,
the sensible
even I
thing to
wouldn't be
do.
that.
And
That was
now David Moyes is
Daniel
coming up to
Levy
receive
was
his medal,
stupid.
but he proceeds. Yeah, we'll come back to that. But listen, David Moyes is now has come up to receive his medal and shake hands with everyone. He gets his medal first as manager, and then come the rest of the players. We see Emerson, who had a fine game tonight. Per Fornal's also coming on. The
Another
normally
former
first choice
Chelsea
Lucas
boy.
Fabianski. Yeah, the normally first choice Lucas Fabianski, former Arsenal keeper. Quite happy to see him win a European trophy. Didn't
It's a
play, of
shame.
course, but yeah.
It's a shame Tammy didn't win one. Tammy Abraham.
Yeah. Antonio, the first choice keeper, Areola, who kisses the trophy. A lucky sort of fella, really, that the goal he conceded was disallowed.
He won't remember. He won't care
Moroccan
about
flag
that.
draped around his waist. Thilo Kehrer, the German international. And Ogbonna, who came on as a substitute, also kissing the trophy. That is Fornals with the Spanish flag wrapped around. And it looks as though Soucek Kufal has got his flag down. Danny Ings with his medal. Cresswell.
I don't see Danny Ings
other...
wrapped around the Union Jack.
Nah, he didn't play very much. He was just happy to be a part of the squad and get a trophy. And selfies being taken with the trophy, more medals being given. Thomas Soucek now getting one. The goal scorer, Jared Bowen.
And
The captain, Declan Rice. Slightly undercooked on the night, but he gets a trophy at the end to round off a very delicious meal.
Why does the captain always go lost?
Because he has to get the trophy. It's as simple. He gets the trophy, and then we will now see them hoist the trophy into the air, and further confirmation that West Ham United, the 2023 Europa Conference League champions, only the second team to win a trophy. And of course, there are some players. Of course, the matchday players receive medals on the day, but there will be some medals retroactively awarded. And will this be Declan Rice's last game in a West Ham shirt? I know he had interest from Bayern Munich. Of course, Arsenal interested in him, as are certainly a few other teams.
Don't Real Madrid have an interest in him?
No, they just signed Jude Bellingham, so I don't think they need him at the moment. And seeing a few more people lift the trophy. Benrahma, of course, with the Algerian flag around his waist. Doesn't lift it. Agard poses with it. And I've got to be honest, I think the Conference League trophy looks a little bit like a gaudy flower vase, to be honest.
Yeah, I like the look of it.
Oh, you do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we are about to end the stream in the next few minutes, so it could be in the next one or two. Of course, the final. Yeah, you might want to mute your thing, mate, because if you want to speak, you can speak, but just mute your stuff in the meantime. Yeah. So. Obviously, we've had another really good stream. Certainly a better match in terms of discipline than the Europa League final, which was absolutely awful. And it had to take a moment of sheer magic from West Ham. I think the Fiorentina defense just went to sleep, and it was almost fitting, really, that it was the superstar Bowen who ended up sealing it. But I'll ask you a few questions. I know obviously you want Ham to win and you would be delighted. I think on the balance of play, West Ham looked better on the counter and probably, I think, marginally deserved their victory. And of course, they will be in the Europa League next season, despite having had a disappointing Premier League season. Do you see David Moyes staying at the club, or will that be his golden goodbye?
Look, I think he does stay. I mean, like, if he had, I think he'd have gone if Fiorentina had won tonight. But if I was David Moyes, I probably would leave anyway. You heard the saying, die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
But I mean, the question is, if he were to leave, who could take him?
That's a very good point. Rafa's available.
Benitez?
Yeah.
Nope. No, I mean, I don't mean who would work with West Ham. I mean, who would have Moyes as their manager?
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to ask a West Ham fan that. I'm in no position to say.
Yeah. Well, obviously they deserve to celebrate. I only hope the West Ham fan to whom you speak will be willing to condemn those idiots who threw those beer cups tonight and demand that those...
Oh, they are. I've seen a lot of them on my Twitter feed condemning them.
Very good, very good, very good.
I'll show you. I'll show you too. Here's one. He's a West Ham fan.
Okay. Yeah, I just saw that text. That notification that you got a text. But yeah, so Moyes could end up staying. Rice might possibly leave, and West Ham will probably want to try and build for their Premier League season. So it could very well be that they might decide to go for some more experience to back up their youth. But then a few of their players could also be on the move, and we might have to speak to a Hammers fan to find out if there are any players on the move. It could very well be that Fabianski retires, so they might need a new keeper.
I know I'd want to get a West Ham fan on his channel.
Couldn't find one, sadly. I know that you might have a few.
I know a few. I know a few. I have a few who follow me.
Right. Well, maybe we'll speak to them and find out a little bit more about it. But for now, though, it's time for them to celebrate. And obviously, for the likes of Jared Bowen, the sky's the limit. If that was Mark Noble who presented the trophy, and I will probably get some confirmation of that from BBC Sport, I'm sure he would have been happy for his teammates, but yeah.
Yeah, Hanno could try and get him on.
If that was Mark Noble who brought the trophy out, then I think then I'm sure he would have been happy for his former teammates, but probably wishing that he had delayed his retirement by one more season. And of course, everyone agrees that if that is Declan Rice's last game, then that is, the best way to bow out.
What a way to end his career at the Olympic Stadium.
Yeah, indeed. And I'm sure Mark Noble would have loved to have won a European trophy in his last year, but he still will be remembered as a legend. And of course, the Fiorentina players had plenty of possession, had their moments, just not quite clinical enough. And a difficult time at Manchester United for David Moyes, ups and downs in his career. Now he has his moment, and you can't be happier for him. And you might have a point, he could possibly stay. Because I think the West Ham fans are sensible enough to know that even if the football at times is not really the best, if it wins you European trophies, then, don't look a gift horse in its mouth, as they would say. Unmute yourself, Nippon.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, well, I think we are going to end the stream now because we've been on for just over 2.5 hours. But before we do that, I want to say thank you very much indeed for coming on, Mr. Sharma, and I'm going to put you in the spotlight so that you can shout out where we can find you on YouTube and social media.
You can find me on Instagram at Nippon with 4 I's and 3 U's and Nippon Reviews Lifestyle. You can find me on Twitter at the Nippon Sharma and my official YouTube Twitter NS Sports 93. You can find me on YouTube at the British Lifestyle Blogger, and you can find me on my main YouTube NS Sports TV.
Very good. And I will hope to join you for another podcast very soon. I know you're running out of battery, so we will end the stream. But thanks a lot for coming on. Thanks to all of you in the chat who joined in and gave your commentary. And everyone from Hashim Niaz, Bobby K, Chelsea Fan, Graham Rogers, Spencer Stewart, of course, Daz Reynolds, James from AFC Bournemouth Fan TV, and Ryan Tune as well. I think that's his name. And we've had some new subscribers tonight. So that's made Hannah very happy. You're the ones who make this video what this is. You're the ones who make the channel what it is. And of course, this coming Saturday will be the Champions League final. So I'm sure Hannah will be covering that. Hopefully I will be there with you, but if not, you will be in good hands. Nippon, quick prediction. City or Inter?
Heart or head? I want Inter to win. Maybe 2-1. I'm going to go with my head. 2-1 City after extra time. Inter to open the scoring.
I'll probably go for an Inter win by the same scoreline. I just think they're going to the defense and the midfield will frustrate City a little bit too much. And City could still be capable of a defensive lapse. We never know. I do not want to see Pep Guardiola win that treble and end up with a huge smile on his face. I cannot stand Manchester City or their fans, but it is what it is. Mr. Sharma, I bid you good night. And to everyone who's joined in the chat and everyone who's watched the video, thank you once again. And I will bid you all a very good night. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy. Be happy. Don't do anything that Mr. Trollet, Mr. Sharma, or I wouldn't do. But for now, I bid you all adieu.
Good night.